Leaving Lizzie Lou's family farm, on my drive to Permaculture Homestead, I passed through the Black River Preserve. The river, characterized by meanders, oxbows, artesian springs, and mature swamp forests, is stained its dark tea color from the tannins of dying vegetation. The best way to see it is in a canoe, but I had to press on. Today I am in Columbia, South Carolina with my friend Tori from Permaculture Homestead, and I'm so excited to meet Tori in person and to see what he's got growing in his backyard food forest. We're going on a little treasure hunt, and then we're going to sit down for a chat. So stay with us.
Enjoy the journey.
And here's Erin, and she's going to feed the animals.
Good morning.
All right. Attention. Attention. Good morning. How many rabbits do you have?
3.
Ah, okay.
Right now we have 3.
Do they just eat one time a day?
Yes. And then they'll get grasses and stuff from when Tori will weed, and he'll feed them as well. Good morning, girls. Dirt out. There's a line to lay eggs.
There's a line to lay eggs?
There's a line to lay eggs this morning. Sometimes that happens. That's my job on the homestead right now. Well, that one is making things with the things Tori grows here in the garden. So finding new recipes and interesting ways to use the food.
Your profession is dancing and teaching dancing, ballet.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Use
right.
that skill I've worked on a long time to help somebody else now.
All right, have a great day.
Yeah, you guys too.
We've gotten tons of rain lately, so I just need to dump out everything that can store and catch water, trying to get rid of mosquitoes out here, but nothing goes to waste at the Permaculture Homestead. Welcome to the food forest. Our first treasure for you today is my goji berry. I love goji berry, a great perennial for zone 8. They fruit all the time, huge clusters of fruit, and they start about mid-March and they go throughout the whole year until fall. So the goji berry are a favorite of our native pollinators, especially mason bees. Goji berry is in the tomato family. They taste much like a tomato. A handful of these small goji berries has more lycopene than a full-size tomato. This is tansy. Medieval times they used it as like a pepper. They would dry the leaves and grind it and use it as a pepper. I use it to bring in native pollinators, just to have beneficial bugs in here. Really pretty button-like yellow flowers. You'll see pollinators on these all day. I don't weed here on the homestead. I kind of let things go wild. Once or twice a year I'll come out and chop and drop. Just chop and drop any overgrowth. Right here is a native muscadine. This is a grape, a wild grape, local to zone 8. Anywhere in zone 8 you can grow it. They are currently putting on their fruit. Muscadines are great for juice and jellies. You mash them, boil them.
And wine.
And wine. Muscadine wine is a big popular one down south. Sweet potatoes in buckets. I am rotating out my spring potatoes and starting sweet potatoes for the fall. They should be ready by November.
Got a little bug action, I see.
Yep, and once again, we're totally organic, no pesticides, no chemicals of any type, no weeding, nothing, really. I'm really trying to find the hardiest plants that can just take the damage and keep on going. There is a wood chip pathway around the whole food forest just to make it easy to get around. And along the way you can stop and see guilds of plants, which is a permaculture principle, just planting in guilds.
Okay.
And this I would call a subtropical fruit and tree guild. I've got this centralized moringa tree, which generally gets 20-30 feet tall. The next layer down is a shrub layer, and I've got things like hibiscus here.
Gorgeous.
I have nitrogen fixing shrubs in the form of Gumiberry Elaeagnus umbellata. This is Gumiberry autumn olive.
Wow.
We have an herb layer, ground cover layer, parsley and artichoke, which has taken some pest damage, but it's still alive. It'll come back. We have this root crop of ginger and a vining layer. If you need a vine layer, we got some sweet potatoes that have naturalized here on the forest floor. So the next treasure I want to talk about is water harvesting. We don't have sprinklers back here or drip irrigation. I utilize a trench system or a swale dug on contour. In this case, my uphill is this way and downhill is this way. So as water comes downhill, it'll fill up in this trench and then soak and seep downhill to the root zones of all my trees and shrubs downhill. It's a lot easier for the plants to stretch out their roots and find the water than it is for me to inundate them with water and they may get too soaked.
That is so good.
Can you make tea or something out of this hibiscus?
Yeah.
Okay. The leaves or the flowers or what?
Flowers. I just kind of eat the flowers. This right here is one of my favorite herbs. This is anise hyssop, and it's got this chocolate flavor to the leaf. I'm using it as a companion plant for my Mars grapes. So this is the first year they've been in here. I probably should prune the fruit off just to let it focus on growth. These are table grapes, and I just put some companion plants with it that like to be with the grape, that bring in pollinators, that deter pests by their smell and aroma. Parsley is another one. When it starts to flower, it'll bring in beneficial bugs. I've got flat leaf, curly, so it does a really good job of cutting down on the grass actually. It'll just choke it out.
Oh, you've got the apple mint all over.
Yeah, I let it spread. I'm not afraid of it. Mother Nature does a really good job of self-managing this for me.
These raspberries are going wild.
The blackberries, yeah. We have a Ouachita, Arapaho, Navajo, all the Indian varieties, and then we have a Triple Crown and a Prime Arc Freedom. They're all from the University of Arkansas. They're all thornless varieties.
Nice.
Bred for the South. So the next treasure I want to show you is our chicken coop and run area. It's at the top of the property. It's pretty far from the house, so it doesn't really bother us, the noise. And I keep my bees back here as well. We do suburban beekeeping. And bees are under a lot of pressure nowadays with chemicals, pesticides. They're under attack by predators, mites, moths, mice. It's been tough for us to keep hives back here. I really feel like I need 7 or 8 hives to just keep up with the winter losses that come. Currently we have 1 hive on site. We've had as many as 2, and I've tried to split them, but with winter losses and bad weather and pests, we've had a hard time keeping more than 1 hive on site. My hope is this spring to go ahead and split this hive and have 2 or 3 hives made from it. Passion fruit is a great ground cover. It's a native plant here in Zone 8. It prevents the weeds from growing. So as you can see, there's really no grass back here, not a whole lot of weeds. The passion fruit just kind of takes over it. So I get weed suppression and an edible crop at the same time.
Do the chickens like passion fruit?
The chickens do not eat the passion fruit at all. Over here I've got 2 plum trees. They like to be together to pollinate each other. This is a Methley plum and a Santa Rosa plum. It has a ground cover of mountain mint. It's a very hardy mint. Once again, brings in beneficial bugs. It's got this aromatic scent that repels other pests. I have a vining layer of the passion fruit. This is a crepe myrtle.
Oh.
Once again, just to bring in pollination, not edible.
And you've got your compost decomposing over in the corner?
Oh yeah, top of the property. So this is left over from a pond project that I did not complete. This was me thinking I was gonna put a pond back here and realize it's just too wet in general. So I do all my composting at the top of the property. We are now standing at the highest part of the property. From here to my back door represents about a 2-foot drop in elevation. So what I get back here is all my compost. The chickens will come back here. They help me turn it. It's weeds, it's chop and drop from my plants. It turns into this rich black soil that I use in the spring.
It looks sandy.
It is a little sandy. I live on a sand pit.
That's great for carrots and celery and a bunch of other things.
It is.
And sweet potatoes.
Right. So I live in it's an ancient river basin I'm living in. So it's very, very sandy soil. And the first thing I did the first year and a half was just bring in organic material and grow a lot of cover crops to try to get some sort of organic material going. So this is a brown turkey fig. We had some frost damage this year. In the past 4 or 5 months, it's already put on a good 3-4 feet of growth. This particular fig, I'm gonna just let it go wild. I'm gonna let it get as big as it can, and I'll let the chickens go ahead and live in it, roost in it.
Well, they will love the shade.
They will certainly love it, yes. So these are all my old fruited canes. I'll chop them, I'll throw them in my cage, and then I'll bring the new canes to the cage just to give the forest some sort of shape. So I've really got this living art going on here.
It's an art installation. It really is, because underneath you have all this wonderful compost that's breaking down.
This plant is winged sumac, Rus copalinum, and they call it winged sumac because of the wings in between the leaf pairs. The stem actually wings out a little bit.
Oh, I see that. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.
I let it grow. The birds planted it here, and it's a shrub layer. And what I'll get in the fall is a large red drupe, it's called. And you can take that drupe and make lemonade or dry it and grind it to make a spice. That's how the Indians used it.
We've got lamb's quarters here. Is that what that is?
Lamb's quarters, yes ma'am.
The birds brought that in and now it's everywhere?
That's right. This is a Lee jujube. Really good for hot temperatures.
Beautiful. And how do you eat jujube? Those are like little tiny apple things, right?
That's right. They do look like a tiny apple early in the summer, and if you let them ripen on the tree in the fall, they will shrivel up and kind of turn into a really sweet date. Another name for it is Chinese date.
And what's all this?
This is goldenrod, wild one, another wild one.
Okay.
And I let the goldenrod go because I need a fall source of nectar for my bees. It also is just my visual reminder letting me know that, hey, fall is here. It's time for me to do some bee maintenance. There are mushrooms, wild ones. I do have some cultivated variety I've put out here.
Comfrey?
Comfrey, yeah. So this is another native local favorite. This is pawpaw, Asamoah trebloa, and it's currently about 6 feet tall. It started out as a stick in the ground 2 years ago, and it puts on North America's largest native fruit, and it's yay big, about the size of a small football. And another name for it is custard apple, because that's what it tastes like when you cut into it and eat it out. Moringa, yes ma'am.
And you'll chop that back, or?
Yes. So let's.
Will that survive the frost?
Great question. I get that question a lot. Being here in Zone 8, we're in this subtropical temperate zone, temperate forest, because we get a frost. And moringa do not like a frost, so this will die back. What I've done though is cut it back, and this year, after a winter, it has grown back at the root. So it throws up suckers when it gets hot again, basically. So another treasure here on the Permaculture Homestead is community, and I got my community helping me out. Everybody around here brings me their grass clippings, and nothing goes to waste. We use these grass clippings as mulch. I'll put them in the compost, or I'll feed them to my rabbits, which then make manure, and I use that manure to feed my plants. So we've got this never-ending cycle going on. So we fertilize here using natural methods. This is a 55-gallon drum filled with comfrey and rabbit manure.
Woo!
And I will let it sit in here and ferment for a couple weeks, dip it out using a 5-gallon bucket, and I will feed my plants with it basically. We water our plants, of course, but I use a gravity-fed system from source to sink, the source being my roof, and the sink being my swales. And to make it easy, I have simple drain system. I'll let the water drain down my swales. This water will kind of meander down the landscape. I have 3 water tanks here on site for 3 swales that I have here, and they're not all lined up perfectly. I do use some tubing. This is a simple pool tube, and I'm gonna flood another swale up here, my second swale. It's definitely a more gentle stream here, still pretty steady. And this too will meander down the pathway and down to the other end.
It's so cool to think you have streams in your backyard.
Basically what it is. I will pepper vegetables throughout the food forest floor. Here's a small example of that. We have okra, basil, there's marigold here, and more parsley right over here. There's some green beans also coming in. Little bug eaten, but they'll make it. They're already wanting to produce just a tad. This one here is Sambucus nigra, black elderberry. It's a local native edible. I actually found it in a ditch and propagated it here on site. It's great shrub layer.
Wow.
It brings in the mockingbirds. It brings in all types of native birds.
Wow.
You see him going at that elderberry? It has antiviral properties, the berries do. They also bring in a lot of native birds, which is my pest control at the same time. So I get this great privacy hedge, I get beneficial birds coming in, and I get this antiviral berry right at the time of year that we need it, during the fall, and it flowers in the spring when many people are getting the flu.
Beautiful.
Great medicinal shrub to have in your property.
Takes a little while to pick those tiny berries, I would think.
It's not as hard as you think. I mean, you just kind of brush your hand over it and they fall right on out.
Oh, let's try that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're kind of seedy. They do need to be processed. I cook them down, I boil them down. I do not eat them raw.
Okay.
I'll either boil them, mash out the juice, and mix it with honey to make a syrup, or I'll boil it, mash it, filter out the juice, and add it to alcohol to make a tincture. So I am certainly an artist. I do try to bring a lot of diversity into the food forest. In just my wingspan, we've got some asparagus, we've got pineapple guava, we've got some more moringa right here. I've got longevity spinach behind me, and I also have rabbit tractoring systems here. This is how I weed my food forest. I'll bring my rabbit along, we'll pull the cage, he will pull up the weeds, eat them, dig it up, leave his manure, and I'll come behind him and wood chip over that, and that's how we kind of keep the depths of this food forest fairly maintained and weed free. This is one of my new favorite edibles I've planted this year. It's Gynera procumbens, or longevity spinach, and it does require some shade. So I have it planted underneath my elderberry, which give it shade throughout the day. It is a semi-subtropical plant, doesn't like frost, so it will die in the winter. And what I'm gonna end up doing is taking cuttings. It roots really well in a cup of water. I'll take cuttings in the fall and root it up until spring. This is a perennial curly leaf kale. It's been decimated by white moth, but this is Mother Nature doing her pruning. This plant will come back in the fall. It's already a 1.5 years old. I expect it to keep producing like this for another 1.5 years. This is my heritage raspberry patch. It is a local ever-bearing raspberry. It's been grown here for over 50 years. It produces twice for me, once in the spring and once in the fall. We've already had a large spring flush, and it's currently putting on its fall growth right now. So this cane will produce for me in the fall and then once again in the spring.
And you'll cut all those canes back for next year, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'll chop it and drop it, and the root suckers will come up.
This has thorns.
This is a thorny variety, yes.
Well, weren't all the heritage varieties thorny?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is something they've bred to take the thorns out to make it easier for gardeners.
I don't mind the thorns. Helps pests stay away from it.
Do you have raccoons here?
No raccoons. Sometimes squirrels can be a problem. Not that bad though. Squirrels aren't too bad. Mice, maybe every now and then they'll try to go for the chicken food.
What about rats?
No rats. We have snakes back here though too. The wife and I have seen snakes slithering around back here.
What kind of snakes?
A corn snake and a rat snake.
Okay.
So
Good.
definitely some varieties. I checked them up, make sure they weren't poisonous.
Well, it's nice to have the rat snake to
Yes,
take care of your rats.
to take care of any mice or rat problem that we may have.
Wow. Ooh. And what would you do if you did see a poisonous snake? Because it's very possible.
It is very possible with all the ground cover here. I don't know what I would do, to be honest. I might just let it be.
Oh, wow.
Got to try that one.
I will.
And you can eat the stem on this. This is like a sweet all the way down. No hard, no crunchy.
Ooh, I gotta get that variety.
And the figs and the plums, and of course all the small fruits have produced real heavily. The blackberries, the raspberries, the elderberry, the goomyberry, beautyberry, peaches. I've just had so much trouble with, and I'm gonna just slowly start pruning them down and back.
So the wire just performs the function of adding shape
to all
your
these
vining
blackberry
plants.
canes. Yes, ma'am. And I mean, it's also going to work as building organic material into this that I can grow into. I'll put annual vegetables into this cage in the spring, in March.
You mean you'll grow them in there?
I will grow them, yeah, directly into the compost that I make in the cages.
Nice.
So yeah, to kind of give some shape here. So it's expanding. We're adding more cages. Kind of give shape to the place. Keep my pathways open. So this right here is pineapple sage. Have oregano and catnip all in between two trees here, serving as a ground cover, preventing weeds from growing.
Well, so it's just the peaches that have stumped you so far.
So far, just the peaches, but as you can see, the pawpaws will get tall, and I'll just prune the peaches down into more like a shrub and less like a tree, and I'll let the pawpaws be the overstory.
Okay, it's break time. What are you going to serve us?
We're going to have lemon balm, apple mint, and chamomile tea, a great herbal favorite.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's really hot here. He has had a little costume change.
Feeling better.
And we are drinking Southern style iced tea in mason jars with fresh mint and chamomile flowers.
And lemon balm.
And some of their honey, which they collected last year. How many gallons did you say?
I would say about 8 gallons, because we had 2 of those 5-gallon buckets about all the way full. And we sold quite a bit. That was from 2 hives.
Oh, that is so good. Now let me try this,
Okay.
because he says to eat this raw.
Yeah, oh yeah, raw is always best. Kind of
Okay.
like, it's going to have a,
It definitely tastes like a plant.
yeah. I've been eating raw food for a while now. I'm pretty used to it.
It is good.
Yeah. Aloe kind of taste to it.
Yeah, a little bit of a.
I mentioned Malabar because it's kind of got that Malabar
That's true. That's true.
crunch
And-
to it.
And I was going to try I'm not sure if I've had raw asparagus before, so I'm going to try this because I saw him eating it.
You're gonna love it. It's sweet all the way down.
Oh, that's so good. Oh. Wow.
Wood chips. I fully believe that it's the wood chips somehow that keep that tasting good.
Well, the thing I love about permaculture is it's got a great story. I don't have that story in my garden. I just have the micro farm in Los Angeles.
You have a very well maintained garden, Kay. I love it.
But permaculture, like biodynamic, has a great story, and I can see why there's a lot of interest in Tori's channel. So be sure you check out Tori's YouTube channel, Permaculture Homestead. And he is so enthusiastic, and he's a wealth of knowledge, and he's passionate about what he's doing. And you can see from this video his enthusiasm, and we just scratched the surface of what we could be talking about here, but you'll see more in-depth stories and explanations and information on his channel, because he intends to take a guild at a time and just break it apart and really talk about it. But we've had this wonderful overview, and thank you so much for having me.
No problem.
And
I appreciate you coming.
You will have to come and see me in Los Angeles.
Oh, I certainly will.
All right. Well, he lived in Los Angeles, so it's not above the realm of possibility.
No, certainly not.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Appreciate it. God bless.